ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Questions. Reference chapter 5. Objectivity in life. Context. Context, you said. That's why I said once in a while, learn to practice this witnessing. Learn to say, I will just witness and I have nothing to question. Who is the adhikari here? In the first context, where we'll take up the three contexts separately. It's three separate questions, no? Yeah, put it as 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. In relation to the first one, learn to practice this witnessing. Learn to say, I will just witness and I have nothing to do. To whom this advice is, given. Who's the adhikari? Who's the adhikari here? Everybody can practice this witnessing. Why it's not going back? Ah. Everybody will be able to practice this. The time and intensity will vary. Again, I repeat. Every human being who wants to evolve spiritually should be able to practice this witnessing once in a while. Where the difference will come is one will be able to do it for a long period of time, one will be able to do it for a short period of time, but nevertheless practice. So it's a practice given for, it's a general advice given to everyone. There are some disciplines where prior qualifications is a must. There are some disciplines where you can experiment a little bit here and there. Now you can't list out I don't have those lists in my memory. I can't list out from my memory. In the context of objectivity, we can say everybody, irrespective of the level of their spiritual growth, can try and practice this objectivity. Like Nididhyasana is not a general practice. Everybody can't be doing Nididhyasana. You follow? Meditation is not a practice at all. Nobody should do meditation. Nididhyasana, you practice. Objectivity is actually this witnessing objectivity you can practice. What is this objectivity that a person is supposed to practice? What does objectivity means? What is it that we are practicing? In everything that we do, we interfere. We cannot not interfere. We need to go on interfering with. We just can't stop ourselves from interfering. So once in a while, don't try to interfere. Let things happen. You don't have to interfere. That's all. That is what objectivity you can practice at this level. Are you able to follow? We interfere with everything we want to interfere, isn't it? Somebody makes a remark, we want to interfere. We read a newspaper, we want to. We read a newspaper, we see something in the newspaper, we want to interfere. We hear about something happening somewhere, we want to interfere. So the general tendency of the mind is to get interference, means involvement. Are you able to follow? The mind, anything and everything the mind contacts, it is getting involved. Involvement, involvement means you are so carried away by it, you are not able to say, I have nothing to do with it. It's so powerful that you are carried away that you are not able to say, I have nothing to do. So once in a while, I said last week in introducing this objectivity, as we study the chapter, as we study the topic, we will come out with something what we can do. But what was said last class is, learn to be an observer once in a while. Learn to observe and not react. Either we react or we just don't receive the stimuli at all, technically speaking. Are you able to follow now? If you remove the stimuli, you will react. If you say don't react, means you have to go to sleep. Only in that state you don't receive any. Only in the state of sleep you will not receive any stimuli. And when you don't receive any stimuli, there is no reaction, there's no response. Now, what is witnessing objectivity means? Stimuli comes in, you understand what is happening, but choose not to react. Choose not to mentally react. What is mental reaction means? Oh, why it is happening? Is it the right thing to happen? Why things are happening? Like anything and everything we see, we get involved. Are you able to follow? So witnessing objectivity is a very important practice, which we all can try at our levels once in a, which everybody can try at our levels once in a while. Don't worry, you will forget that you have to be objective. That's okay. You will even forget that you have to be objective. You will even forget that you have to be a witness. So who's the adhikari here? At all levels of spiritual practices, a human being can practice this objectivity. A person can be 10% evolved, 30% evolved, 50% evolved, 70% involved. According to that, you practice objectivity. You cannot practice objectivity because we are so used to getting carried away. We see something and you get involved in what you see. You hear something and you get involved in what you hear. What is witnessing means? You understand what is happening and say, I am not going to react to that. Why should a person say, I should not going to react? Why should a person say, I'm not going to react to that? Why should anybody say, I'm not going to react? If you are reacting, you have lost detachment. If you are reacting, you have lost the distance. You got involved. So witnessing once in a while helps you to get that detached. That's why we talk about this witnessing. Is it okay? The first clarification? Context. Learn to be a sakshi in relation to the external first, and then you can get into internal. When are you so affected in relation to the external itself, you can never be a sakshi in relation to the internal. Who is the adhikari here? The same person. These are all general practices. Learn to be a Sakshi in relation to the external first. Now you want to practice objectivity. Where do you start practicing objectivity? You can't start witnessing your mind and your thoughts and all. You can't start witnessing your mind, your desires, your thoughts. You can't start here. You end up here. You end up witnessing your mind last. You don't start with witnessing your mind. Because who's witnessing? In the beginning stages, who's witnessing? Mind witnessing mind makes no sense at all. Are you able to follow? Therefore, in the practice of objectivity, where do you start? Start with the external. What is starting? How do you practice objectivity with reference to the external? You understand whatsoever is happening according to a law. Whatsoever is happening according to a law. Therefore, you stop asking this question. What? You see an event, isn't it? You see something happening. And invariably, we are so used to seeing only the wrong things. We don't see good things at all in life, isn't it? We don't see any good things at all in life. We only see wrong things, isn't it? What do we see? We see rape, we see murder, we see somebody abusing somebody, but we don't see somebody helping somebody also. When somebody is helping somebody, have you ever asked why? But then when somebody gets raped, the question is why? When somebody gets abused, the question is why? When somebody is saving somebody, when somebody is melting themselves up for the life of others, nobody comes and asks why there? Because you are so attracted to correct. You are so attracted to negativity. Are you able to follow? So when you see an external thing, you can see two things. You can see negativity, you can see positivity. When you see positivity, no reaction will happen to you. Nothing will happen to you. When you see negativity, isn't it? You go to a different school, different type of children are there. They are making so much of noise, jumping all over, isn't it? Jumping all over, not doing, can't listen to one instruction and stay quiet. You get too agitated, isn't it? You go to another school where children are just not reacting to anything at all. You feel like telling them what? Jump and scream and run around. Doesn't matter. Now, what do you respond to? Are able to follow? On the one hand, when somebody is responding, you are getting irritated. On the other hand, when a child is not responding, also you are getting irritated. We really don't know. We really don't know what to do with ourselves in life. Are able to follow? Now, what is Sakshi now? What does Sakshi means? When you see something happening externally, you understand it is happening according to a law. It is happening according to a law. Because it is happening according to a law, there is no need for you to get worked up about it. Are you able to follow? That is being starting with the external. And then you come to the internal. What is coming to the internal? Coming to the internal means your own. Coming to the internal. What is coming to the internal means? Again, in the internal, you can see two things. What are the two things that you can see in yourself? Again, the same thing, positivity and negativity. Every human being has these two. There is no human being who has only negativity, or there is no human being who has only positivity. All the 49-51 percentage. Always remember the percentage. Like a mantra, remember this. The percentage of right and wrong, good and bad between people is not 90 and 10. Don't say 90% good, 10% bad. Take it or leave it. The percentage is always 51, 49. यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहं परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Krishna has said that, no sir. Bhagavad Gita, he comes back again and again and again to restore the balance. No. What is the balance he can restore? 49 ல இருந்து 51. You don't know what it is to shift the percentage from 49 to 51. Great Mahatmas, extraordinary people are required to shift it from 49 to 51. So, the same percentage, you have it in you also. Internally also, you have the same percentage of what? Negativity and positivity. Learn to witness this all. Learn to witness that also. Are you able to follow? Objectivity means agitations belong to the mind and I don't have a mind. Again, agitations belong to the mind and I don't own my mind. Mind and agitation இருக்கும் அது பாட்டுல போயின்னு இருக்கட்டும், எனக்கு அதுக்கும் சம்பந்தம் கிடையாது, அவ்வளவுதான். Are you able to follow? பாடினா பெயின் இருந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும் ஒரு சைட்ல. அரேஞ்சி we are experts in that, no? We have a competition between us. Who will have more competition, isn't it? Now, what do we do? You can say body will go through pain and I have nothing to do with it. You can continue to do whatever you are doing. Are you able to follow? This is what is called objectivity. Are you able to follow? Objectivity means I have nothing to do with it. For nature of the mind is to get agitated and I have nothing to do with the mind. At least once in a day, everybody can say that, no? At least once in a day, everybody, I have nothing to do with the mind, which I have been calling unnecessarily as my mind. My mind, unnecessarily I have been talking like that. At least once in a day, I will say, mind is going through that. I have nothing to do. Yes. Very difficult, correct. Calling bell is very difficult. Calling bell actually fear. Yeah, what do we do? Yeah, once in a day, you can say, I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do with it. Are you able to follow? So start with the external. See, you can become objective. You can practice objectivity, witnessing when you are convinced about there is a law that is functioning and everything happens according to a law. Everything that happens according to a law. There is no such thing called victim. There's no such thing called innocent victim. There's no such thing called victim. There is no such thing called innocent victim. Take it, it's a law. Yeah. At least in this classroom, we should be able to have the courage to accept that there is no such thing called victim. There is no such thing called innocent victim. It is happening and I can deal with it also. It is happening and I can deal with the law. The divine law tells us two things. It is happening and also you are given the capacity to deal with it. Yeah. Are you able to follow? So what is practicing Sakshi? Once you start with it is easy to start with external first. Understand that there is a law that is functioning. Then the next question is, can I do something? Can I do something about it? For you to decide to get into it, what you should ask yourself? For you to decide to get into it, what you should ask yourself? Is it part of my existing Nitya Naimitika karma or am I adding one more? Is it part of my existing karma or am I adding one more? And the clarity work. Are you able to follow? For you to get that clarity, witnessing is objectivity is very important. Otherwise, we will go on picking up. We'll go on picking up things, dropping, picking up, dropping, picking up, dropping, picking up, dropping. Unsure. Don't keep picking, dropping, picking, dropping, picking, dropping. Huh? Be objective. Unnecessarily pick up and pick up, drop service la manakudadu. Don't pick up, don't drop also. For everybody lives, everybody does their own. If you have to get involved, you understand, is it part of your obligation? Having done your obligations, do you have that extra time to get into it? If you say, if there is yes, you get in it. If there is no, what do you have to do? Stay away. That is objectivity. Your emotion will not allow you to do. Emotion will tell you what? Emotion will make you so impulsive that you will run into it. The same impulse will help make you to run away also. So the speed with which we run in is the same speed with which we will run out also. So objectivity means what? Before getting in, it is well thought and well considered. Having gotten into it, die doing it. Having gotten into it, after escape lang kadayadu. After getting into it, there is no way that I can take a break. So it is easy to start practicing objectivity from the external and then slowly moving internal. So objectivity means positivity and negativity will be there. Good and bad will be there. I have nothing to do with both. Once in a while, we can say that also. Are you able to follow? Both exist and I have nothing to do with both. I have nothing to do. Next one. Ranjini. Context. There will be an appropriate instrumental response, but I will not equate it to I. That is objectivity. That is what I said. I said there will be an appropriate instrumental response, but I will not equate it to I. That is called objectivity. Now the question. When you are abused, the mind will get dejected. When you are honored, the mind will get excited. Instead of saying, I am honored, I am depressed, I am sad, you say, the mind is excited, the mind is depressed. These are all the statements that is said. Question is, who's the adhikari who can practice it? Everybody should be able to, everybody can practice it at their own small, everybody can take some small baby steps. Everybody can take baby steps. What is a baby step that you can take at the early stages of understanding? When you are praised, you are not praised as a whole. One part of you is praised. When you are insulted, one part of you is insulted. Now you can never be honored as a whole. You can never be insulted as a whole. Are you able to follow? This is called objectivity. When you are honored, one part of you is honored. When you are insulted, one part of you is insulted. So objectivity means a clarity that somebody is honoring because they have derived some benefit. Somebody is insulting because you are honored because you are when will you be honored? You will be honored, you will be praised when you have done some, when they are benefited by you, they will honor you. Correct? Now, when you do, when will they insult you? When benefit comes, you will be honored. When something is not of their benefit, they will insult you. Therefore, that part which is beneficial to them will be honored. That part which is not beneficial to them will be insulted. For I remain beyond both. Are you able to follow? For I remain beyond both. So to take as I am honored or I am insulted is involvement. Taking a part to be the whole. Are you able to follow? Somebody will say, you are such a sacrificial person. To the same person, somebody is going to come and say, you are such a threat, you are such a villain. Somebody will come and say, you are the most useless member of the society. So somebody is saying you are the hero, somebody is saying you are the villain, somebody is saying you are useless. What will you take? Objectivity means you take all the three. Carefully follow. Objectivity, na, you take all the three, you take. And where will you keep all the three? You take all the three and where you should keep? அப்படியே இங்கேயே வச்சுக்கணும், நீலகண்டா மாதிரி இல்லையா? லைக் நீலகண்டா, யூ ஹாவ் டு டேக் எவ்ரி திங். புரியுதாப்பா? சிவகடாட்சம், சிவஞானம், புரியுதா? எங்க வைக்கணும்னு? யூ ஹாவ் டு டேக் எவ்ரி திங் அண்ட் வேர் யூ ஹாவ் டு கீப். இங்கே வச்சிடணும். டேக் இன் எவ்ரி திங் அண்ட் கீப் இட் ஹியர். swallow பண்ணியாச்சுன்னா you got involved in அர்த்தம். Yeah, when you have swallowed it, you are involved. The poison has gone in. Swallow இது இங்க இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் you are not you are okay. When you have swallowed, the poison has gone in. After the poison has gone in, consequences you have to face. Yeah. Washing, what will they do? When you swallow that, they will rush them to the hospital and they will do wash out. Inga wash out la manna mudiyadhu. Yeah. Karmas cannot be washed out like that. Karmas will be washed out by you experiencing it. Are you able to follow? Therefore, at any given point in time, you can practice this. What? Super. Abdina, you should understand ஏதோ ஒரு benefit ஆயிருக்கு. அதனால they are saying super. உங்க சங்காத்தமே வேண்டாம். I don't even want to associate with you, na, to understand something. They are seeing some threat, some fear. Somebody comes and says, you are a useless fellow. So all this you understand. What is, supposing if we say, I don't even know the differences between the three, now you are very dumb. That's not what we are. Supposing if you don't even know the difference between the three, you are not being very intelligent, but you are being very dumb. Then what is the right way? To swallow everything and keep it. Neelakandar mari vekkanum inge. That's what tapas is all about. That's where tapas comes in. You take in everything and you just keep it here and don't allow it to get mixed up. Get mixed up. You follow? Otherwise, the mistake. What is the mistake? When one part of me is honored, I will feel so elated saying, I am honored. When one part of me is insulted, I will say, I am insulted. Yeah. Carefully follow this example. You can become objective very, very easily. Carefully follow this example. The body shaming madri irukum, it's okay still. It's okay. You have a beautiful eyes. Now what you should understand? Ears, nose, hands and all are not honored. Only the eye is honored. There's no problem. Correct? Supposing somebody comes and says, you have a beautiful eye. Abdin enna artham? Only what is that which is honored there? Only the eye. That honor that is done to the eyes, மூக்கு காதெல்லாம் புடிச்சு வச்சுக்கிட்டு குதிச்சா, what will happen? The nose and the ears and all that will be jumping. What will happen? Somebody will come and say, crooked nose you are completely dejected. Are you able to follow? Objectivity is not difficult at all. And the repeated clarity worth certain practices. That's what. Yeah. Repeated clarity. Are you able to follow? I was asking those group of kids in that school yesterday. Day before I was in that school, we came. So I was talking to the group of kids. They said, talk something to the kids. No, what will I talk to the kids? So I told them very, very clearly. Okay, orange juice, what will you get? I said, if you squeeze the orange fruit, if you squeeze the orange fruit, what will you get? Huh? Juice. What juice? Grapefruit juice. Orange juice only will come. Again, if you squeeze an orange fruit, will you get apple juice? No. 5 times I asked. They're all like no, no, no. When somebody comes and squeezes you, and if anger comes out of you, what do you have inside? Huh? அவ்வளவுதான். orange juice வரா மாதிரி somebody you squeeze the orange juice comes out of you. If somebody comes and squeezes you, and that somebody can be your boss, that somebody can be the boss, somebody can be the husband, somebody can be the neighbor, somebody can squeeze you. What comes out of you is what you have. Said, remember this lesson. What comes out of you is what you have. நல்லது வெளில வரணும்னா உள்ள நல்லது இருக்கணும். Isn't it? If good things must come out, what you should have? Full of anger and jealousy and hatred and frustration எல்லாம் வச்சுக்கிட்டு what will, and if you are touched, what will come out? People don't have gratitude at all. People are very selfish. Now what will you squeeze an orange juice? Sorry, you squeeze an orange fruit, orange juice only will come. This is called objectivity. Follow? This can be practiced by everybody at their level. We can practice it little bit here and there, little bit here and there. You can practice, and it brings a tremendous a detachment. We are living life. Carefully follow the sequence now. Carefully follow the sequence that I'm. Is it okay, the clarifications? Yes.
So, the previous one, where you said objectivity practiced internally, something, your mind does something, you are able to say whatever it is of the mind, it's not my mind.
Yes.
But when we can understand that body pain, when we say that about the mind, does it mean ignoring the fluctuations of the mind? Does it just mean that?
Now, what she's asking is it ignoring the fluctuations? The mind will go through fluctuations. Is it ignoring the fluctuations? It is not ignoring the fluctuations. It is saying, I have nothing to do with it. If ignoring means I have nothing to do with it, correct. The question that she is asking is clarification based on what I said just now. Is the mind goes through fluctuations. So do we ignore those fluctuations? Correct?
Because when I'm sad, I may cry, I may do certain things, but I get out of it. So do I just let it be? Okay, it's finished. Post facto, I don't give it more attention.
The question.
During it, I don't. Then I mature. During it, I don't.
The question is, what she's saying is, I will cry it out. I will go through it fully, and then finally say, I have nothing to do with it. Yeah. After gossiping for 2 hours, making a mince meat, kottu parota. Yeah. For 2 hours, I'll make the kottu parota of somebody, mince meat, and then finally say, I have nothing to do with it. No, that's not objectivity. What is objectivity? Fluctuations will happen. Crying will happen. What is objectivity? What is objectivity then? Crying will happen. Crying will happen. What is objectivity? I have said this example any number of times. Crying, do what you ought to do. That is objectivity. You are crying. Doesn't matter. Crying, do what you ought to do. Avladha. Don't stop crying. Don't wait for went out lam பண்ணிட்டு I am coming back. Objectivity கிடையாது. As you are crying, do what you ought to do. Remember that example, somebody close to you is dead. That is, somebody close to you is dead. Now, what will you do? Wake up crying, light the stove, crying, make the coffee, crying, and ask with sugar or without sugar, crying, and drink the coffee, crying. Then you are being objective. So much of sorrow, a coffee la sakar podradingo, and then continue to start crying. No, you are very objective. Are you able to follow? Vijay, puridappa, you are in such a tremendous sorrow, and you drink coffee without sugar. Now that I am in sorrow, I will take coffee with sugar. Huh? No. Even as I am in tremendous sorrow, crying, I'll tell the person what? Coffee without sugar and continue to cry. Nah, you are being objective. That's that. No, see that sense of independence for a human being. That sense of independence that a human being alone can. That sense of independence that a human being can enjoy, can experience. Are you able to follow? Laughter, you continue to do what you ought to do. Crying, you continue to do what you ought to do. But one thing, what you will not stop doing, what you ought to do. Are you able to follow? We cannot do that. We have to stop. When we are excited, we stop. When we are affected, we stop. And all the time, we are either excited or affected. When does Nitya Naimitika Karma happen? Shankar, class like கேள்வி கேட்டா answer தான் Nitya Naimitika Karma, isn't it? Nitya Naimitika Karma comes as an answer only. Nothing actually happens. Why? Because when you are excited, you stop. When you are crying, again you stop, and you are either you are excited or crying. Third possibility, illave illa. Are you able to follow? Crying, do what you. Okay.
Ranjani ji has a clarification.
Yes.
There is a problem. I'm not able to understand me properly. So one is part appears whole, then temporary appears permanent, then selfish appears unselfish, intelligence appears intellect, and attachment appears love, detachment appears indifferent, and everything is distorted and inverted.
Yes.
What objectivity can be practiced?
That is why I said you cannot practice total objectivity. If you have 10% intellect, you have only 10% intellect, and with that 10% intellect, whatever can be done, can be done. Are you able to follow? It's not zero intellect. It's not zero growth. Whatever little bit you can have, with that you can practice. If it is zero, then we have a real problem. Because the starting point will be a problem if it is zero. But we all don't have a starting problem because it is not absolute zero. We all have something. We all have some platform. Maybe kindergarten, maybe high school, maybe higher secondary school. But everyone has a platform to start with. That's where Ramtirtha comes and says, make faithful use of what you have. Make faithful use of what you have rather than trying to look at the absolute practice. Rather than worrying about making into a perfect absolute practice, make faithful use of what you have. You follow? That's how you can practice. At your level, at everybody's level, somebody will be able to practice objectivity. Out of 10 times, 2 times you will be able to practice. Out of 100 times, 10 times in a day, you will be able to practice. What is being said here is practice that. Practice that. 10 times you can do that. Don't sit and do it for hours together. Don't say, how can I do it for hours together and all. You cannot do it for hours together. You cannot do it for minutes together. Once in a while, if you can do, once in a while, you can do, remember to do that. Are you able to follow? With your existing intellect, you can do, remember to do it. Once in a while, all of us can do it. We need to remember to do it. Are you able to follow? Where you will try to practice is in your greatest area of your problem, you want to practice it straight away because of greed. You have a misery, you have a very stubborn, deep problem. You want to practice objectivity there straight away. That will not work. Are you able to follow? Where everybody makes a mistake is where all they have, because according to people, Vedanta is a problem-solving mechanism. No, where is Brahman? Where is God? Where is that? Vedanta is useful for solving some the problem. Solve பண்ணி நிம்மதியா தூங்க விட்டா போறோம் சார், அவ்வளவுதான் இல்லையா? Solving the problem தூங்கினா போறோம். Who is interested in your Brahman, God, self-realization எல்லாம்? Who cares about? Who even bothers about these things? Therefore, you cannot take up this practice to your your strongest weak points. You cannot practice objectivity in your strongest weak areas. You cannot practice. Obviously, you should not do that. That is overestimating yourself. That is just being egoistic. That's all. Everybody, whoever hears this, they just get greedy and they become egoistic. Whoever hears these kind of discourses, first thing that happens to them is they get greedy. Greedy means what? Straight away they will want to practice it in their strongest weak points. அது பகூனாம் ஜென்மனாம் அந்தே தான் அது நடக்கும். But at a superficial level, you can deal with something. That's why I gave some newspaper report. You see, you need not get a you need not sit and curse the entire society for a newspaper report, isn't it? ஒரு ஃபேஸ்புக் ஃபார்வர்டு, ஒரு வாட்ஸ்அப் ஃபார்வர்டு, எந்த ஃபார்வர்டும் நல்லதாவே இருக்காது இல்ல. அப்படியே நல்லது வந்தா கூட யூ டூ இட், என்ன பிரயோஜனம்? So wherever we go, whatever we do, we always think in terms of the greed of wanting to use it to solve our problems immediately. Those areas you should not practice. Practice in the areas where it is external. That's why we said start from the external first.
What affects us is typically which are very close to us. Right?
Correct.
Which, something that happens on the time, we don't bother. We actually look at it, we, observe it and then, forget it. But what is closer to us, we're not able to.
Correct.
We're not able to.
What Aparna is saying, நீங்க சொல்றதெல்லாம் wrong. What she's saying is all that you are teaching is wrong. She's saying that. Anyway, she's correct. Not what I'm teaching is wrong. That's not, she didn't say that. What she's saying is, in the areas that deep affectation comes only in the areas where you are attached maximum. In the areas where you are attached maximum, objectivity cannot be practiced. But then there are areas where we are not that attached, that involved. We can practice there. One is an indifferent area. About 98% of the areas of life is indifferent only, and it's not wrong. That's how we can survive. We'll go mad. So we have to be indifferent to 98% for us to even to be normal and walk in life. When we do that, we get so carried away by the immediate circle of our attachments. So objectivity means not practicing it there. Objectivity means we all have layers of circles. We all have layers of attachments. What is the layers of attachments? One layer of attachment is your ideas and ideologies is one layer of attachment. The people around you is another layer of attachment. Similarly, we all have layers of attachment. Now, what are all the layers in a list? Everybody has their own layers of attachments. Now, in those layers of attachment, you can practice objectivity from that which is far. Which is far. In the area of indifference, you have to become aware first. The area of indifference, there is no objectivity that can be practiced there. In the area of indifference, awareness must come. But then awareness means we get involved. Awareness means we get involved. Don't get involved means become indifferent. Both are play of the mind only. Able to follow? Therefore, what happens? We all have our own layers of attachments. Practice it in the external layer. Don't get carried away. Don't try to practice it in the closest area. Follow?
See, limiting everything that will help.
Karpagam is shifting the discussion to Shankaracharya level now. Yeah, she is saying, if we see divine everywhere, can it be a practice of objectivity? Will it help in the practice of objectivity? No. Seeing divine everywhere is seeing it as it is. Carefully follow. Seeing divine everywhere means seeing it as it is. Objectivity means seeing some gunas, seeing some properties, some qualities, and choosing not to get affected by it. Are you able to follow? Objectivity is practiced only in relation to the nama rupa guna karma that I see in the others. Divine is what?
Yeah.
Divine is what everybody is. Divine is what the truth is. When I am able to see everything as divine, I have already crossed practicing objectivity a lot. Seeing divine everywhere means I have practiced objectivity to a large extent. I cannot start with the practice of seeing divine everywhere. No, that won't work. I have to learn to say, I will choose not to identify with nama, rupa, guna, karma. Name, form, qualities, actions. Name, form, qualities, actions. Objectivity means I will choose not to get involved in the name and form and qualities and actions. Seeing divine is a beautiful, wonderful. Seeing divine is a beautiful higher level of spiritual practice. Again, it is a practice, but comes at a very comes at a very good level of growth. Not now. So now in the context, not now means in the context of discussing objectivity, what is it that we should do? Not identify with nama, rupa, guna, karma. That is called objectivity. You follow?
So I have the desire to take a break and indulge in pleasant excitement. And again, desire to take a break and indulge in rejections, unpleasant. What am I supposed to tell myself when I'm behaving like this?
The clarification is, Rajni, clarification is, when something pleasant happens, I want to take a break and indulge. When something bad happens, I want to take a break and be sad. Correct? Okay. Does she do all that? I have not seen her doing anything like that. Like on robot she is. And she's saying, I want to take a break when sad, I want to take a break when happy. Anyway, assuming that she's doing all that. What is the question now?
Tell myself.
Taking break is common in both.
Yes. What am I supposed to tell? Yes.
Exactly. Take it.
Yes. Correct. What am I supposed to do? Tell myself when I feel the need to take a break. What are you supposed to tell yourself when the need comes to take a break? What are you supposed to tell yourself? Break edukave kudadu. Under all tight doing, but I will not take a break. A kind of almost like, carefully follow, almost like a kind of obsession to Nitya Naimittika karma must come. Almost like a kind of obsession. But very difficult to develop a kind of obsession to Nitya Naimittika karma, because desired and action obsession lang varum. Nitya Naimittika karma obsession la varave varat. Why? Because to do the right thing and to be grateful all the time is not that easy. Are you able to follow? Therefore, whenever the need to take a break comes, what you should ask you, what you should tell yourself, I will not take a break. Abdina workaholic marnuma, obsessive marnuma. You are that already. Are you able to follow? You are that already. You are obsessive already. Are you able to follow? Therefore, what you should tell yourself when the thought comes that I have to take a break. Under any circumstance, I will not take a break from Nitya Naimittika karmas. At least tell yourself that I will not take a break from Nitya karma. Yeah. See, what are all the Nitya karmas? What are the Nitya karmas of a human being? Twice a day, thrice a day, sapannum. That is Nitya karma. 7-8 hours. 7-8 hours தூங்கணும். நித்திய கர்மா இல்லையா? எந்த ஊர்ல இருந்தாலும் Presaji has learned Tamil very fast now. Therefore, I am fully talking because he's become an expert in Tamil and is sending questions in Tamil to me. Therefore, full lectures I can talk in Tamil only. Yeah. Nitya karma, certain Nitya karma. That's why, okay, take an example. Take the extreme case. When you see those in depression, they will not do the minimum Nitya karma, they will not do. You know what is the minimum Nitya karma to do? What is the minimum Nitya karma to do? That they will not do. You know that? When people get, they will not even do that minimum thing of brushing and bathing. காலைல ஏந்த உடனே brush பண்ணணும், குளிக்கணும்ன்றது நித்திய. So under any circumstance, you will not. But then we don't talk at that level. For us, nitya karma means panchamahayajna. Under any circumstance, you will not stop. Under any circumstance, you will not stop the Panchamaha Yajna. Under any circumstance, you will not. So then you say, okay, from a few things, I will never ever take a break. That's what knowledge is all of. Are you able to follow? Whatsoever the circumstances are, I will never ever take a break from a few. That's why about if you go to the Dharma Shastras, the whole thing, they have various, bathing itself is of various types. Bathing. Supposing for whatsoever reason you are so sick and all that, water cannot come and touch you, na? At least mantra you should say and bathe. It means what? It's called mantra snana. Yeah, at least you have to do, at least to mantra you have to have you have to bathe. It means what? It means what? Certain karmas I will not stop under any circumstance. I will not stop. I will not take a break from. I will not take a break from some nitya karmas under any circumstance. Are you able to follow? That's why it's very interesting. Whenever people get into this depression and all that, first thing the doctors will ask is, are you bathing? Illa, I bathe once in 2 days. Advice is, adu or advice? Is that an advice? No, it is an advice given by the, it is an advice given by the Shastra. Certain nitya karmas should not be stopped under any circumstance. There are various ways of doing it, but activity cannot be stopped. Yeah. So then, the Acharya had a cataract surgery. You are not supposed to head bath. Doctors were so worried that he will go and have a head bath, and no one can tell him also, don't go and have a head bath. For these people have a big ego. They will not listen to. They will not listen to anybody. I don't know why they are like that. Huh? They will not listen to anybody. So the doctor will. The doctor chose to stay put there just to tell him in the morning that he will wake up at 3:30, go before everybody wakes up. He will go and come back. He will finish his thing and come back and sit. So doctor was sitting there. So he asked the doctor, yeah, unakku vera patient illiya? He asked. Why you don't have other duties? Why are you sitting here? He said, no, others. Then go. So he went there, finished, took the car 12 o'clock, came back to the mutt at 3 o'clock in the morning to ensure that he doesn't, to ensure that he will not go. He said, definitely I was to go for a, definitely I was going only 12 o'clock, you finished all the appointments, seeing the patient, surgery, everything finished, and you drove back. Okay, for your sake, I will do another type of snanam today. I will do another type of snanam today. Yeah. But snanam should not be stopped under any circumstance. Are you able to follow? We all have certain nitya karmas like that which cannot be stopped under any circumstances. We should not stop. Various ways we can do. Yeah, there are various ways we can do. So he said, okay, he was bargaining. Yeah, okay. இங்க தான குளிக்க கூடாது. இது வரைக்குமாவது குளிச்சலாமே. No, இது கூட வேணாம். At least எடுத்து போச்சுக்கிறேன். No. Not that they don't know all that. Not that they don't know all that. Are you able to follow? What is it? What is the message that is given? What is the teaching? Under any circumstance, nitya karmas, you cannot take a break from nitya karmas. Extreme circumstance, even when you are not able to do, power of attorney, somebody has to do it on your behalf. They do that also. They will call somebody, give the darba grass, they will touch it, and then they'll give the darba grass. If not touch darba grass, if you give to power of attorney is given to you. Therefore, what will they do? They'll give the power of attorney to somebody to do the nitya karma on their behalf. It means nitya karma you cannot take a break from nitya karma at any point of time, whatsoever the nitya karmas are. Are you able to follow? So, what do you take a break from? Tell yourself, I will never ever take a break from some nitya karmas. I will not take a break from. Come what may. I tell you, that itself will give you tremendous strength. That very conviction itself will give you a tremendous strength. The mind will start behaving. Mind will simply start listening. But we have to do that. But we always say, no, we should not be so obsessed. No, once in a while we can be very, once in a while we can also take a, relax. No, correct. Once in a way we can relax. No, under any circumstance, you are not supposed to relax. You're not supposed to relax. I know a few things that my dad used to do. He got a heart attack. He was in the hospital. He couldn't do so. Next morning when I went to see, I took one bunch of darba grass with me. My aunt and they started crying. They thought I'm going to do ceremony for him. Oh, the kula darba. I said, first of all, why did you all come? I said, why did you all even come? First of all, isn't it? So I went. So yes, you can't even speak. Why? Certain things you want to do every day. No, till you come back, I will do it on your behalf. I will do it. They recover very fast. They recover very fast. They will recover. Why? Because they know that it's being certain things that they don't want to stop is taken care of. Are you able to follow? That's how we should do it. So everybody should have a list. What is the list? Come what may, certain karmas will not be stopped. Sukham or dukkham, some activities will continue. Is it okay? So keep a list of activities. Under any circumstance, you will not take a break from. The Shastra gave you the best activity that you should not take a break from. What is the best activity the Shastra gave you that you should not take a break from? Swadhyaya. Swadhyaya. Every day study 30 minutes of the every day read at least for 30 minutes. Swadhyaya. Don't take a break from Swadhyaya. Krishna says that. Bhagavad Gita. Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna. I consider Swadhyaya Yajna to be the best, he says. Taittiriya Upanishad, in the Taittiriya Upanishad, always it glorifies the Swadhyaya so much. But sir, in the Galatala, suma koil poitu vandale porada, bhajan paannale porada. People have all this, because the same scripture talks about that also, no? Angada, you should use that's where you should use your buddhi, existing buddhi. Yeah, so you should use your existing buddhi and then say what? The common practice is always Swadhyaya only. To glorify something, it will be said Swadhyaya is also useless. But actually, they're not saying Swadhyaya is useless. They say it is called Ninda Nyaya. you put down something only to glorify something else. It doesn't mean this is wrong. Yeah, in the study of the Shastras, all this is very, very important. Are you able to follow? This is objectivity. We'll continue next week.